Hey everybody, it's the Bald Man once again. I realize in your assignment they talk about crowding in, and we didn't really talk about it in class. So I'm going to help you out with this particular page. So we read here, it says, when an inflationary gap exists, governments can use contractionary fiscal policy to close the gap. However, decreasing government spending, increasing personal taxes, or using a combination of both, can lead to surplus spending. Having extra money to pay for the contractionary policy can affect investment spending and lead to crowding in. So now we need to answer the questions above. So the first one says, identify the type of GDP gap being experienced in country W. And of course, this is an inflationary gap. And then, of course, what two policies does the government have? Does the government have to close this gap? They can decrease government spending or increase taxes. Those are the two tools they have at their disposal to contract the economy. Next question says, I'm sorry, let me erase that first. Give me a quick second. Here we go. So the next question says, assume that the federal budget is country. Assume the federal budget is country W is balanced. I should say of country W is balanced. How will the use of either policy above impact the budget? So, what's going to happen as a result of this? Well, either thing they do, right? So either fiscal policy will create a budget surplus. Then it says, define crowding in. Explain how the surplus spending used to enact the fiscal policy listed above impacts investment spending and the effectiveness of the fiscal policy itself. So here, let me try to make this as neat as possible for you. So we can say crowding in occurs when a government has a budget surplus and can fund its spending. This decreases the demand for loanable funds and drives interest rates down. All right, so once interest rates are down, what's going to happen? Making loans less expensive and attractive. Right? As a result, people will borrow more money. And let me show you how crowding in would look on the graph. But first, let me erase all this before I bring my graph back down. All right, so how are we going to show crowding in here? First of all, right, contractionary policy is meant to contract the economy. So we are going to come here. This will be AD2. And this will be our price level here at that point. However, we just said that the interest rates are going to be low and it's going to be more attractive for people to borrow money. So as a result, they're going to go and borrow money, and that's going to lead to this bounce back effect. And this is what we would call crowding in right here. We have that bounce back effect we weren't counting on because of the low interest rates. Now, because the government isn't borrowing money because they can fund their own spending, so loanable funds become cheaper. People go borrow money to buy houses, to invest in their business, and the economy bounces back up, even though we did not want this to happen. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment down below or send me a message on Remind.